children, may this time for you be a time of prayer for peace. Thank you for having responded to my call.
Welcome back to the Perpetual Help Postcast, everyone. I'm Russ McGinn, and with me as always is my wonderful wife, Lorene McGinn. It's truly a blessing to share this space with you all, especially as we gather to reflect on Our Lady's latest message from Medjugorje for September 2025.
It really is, Russ. And this message, like so many from Medjugorje, is so beautifully simple, yet profoundly impactful. Dear children, may this time for you be a time of prayer for peace. Thank you for having responded to my call. Just 2 sentences, but packed with so much spiritual nourishment, don't you think?
Absolutely, Lorene. The immediate thing that strikes me is that opening phrase, "Dear children." It's such a tender, maternal way to address us, reminding us of her unending love and care despite the chaos of the world. And then straight into the core, may this time for you be a time of prayer for peace. In a world that often feels anything but peaceful, this call couldn't be more timely.
It truly is. When I read Prayer for Peace, my mind immediately goes to the global conflicts, the unrest we see everywhere. But I think it's also about a deeper, more personal peace, isn't it? The peace within our own hearts, our families, our communities. Because without that inner peace, how can we truly contribute to peace on a larger scale?
That's a fantastic point. Medjugorje messages often emphasize that conversion begins within. If we're carrying turmoil, anxiety, or resentment in our own lives, it's going to manifest outwards. So this prayer for peace isn't just about praying for an end to war, but also praying for the transformation of our own hearts into vessels of peace.
And the emphasis on this time, it suggests a particular urgency or perhaps a special grace given for this period. Our Lady isn't just saying pray for peace generally, but may this time be for you a time of prayer for peace. It feels like an invitation to intensify our efforts to really make peace a central intention in our daily prayers.
It's like a focused spiritual exercise for the coming month, isn't it? A special emphasis. And when you look at the history of the messages from Medjugorje, the call to peace has been a consistent thread since the very beginning. Our Lady introduced herself as the Queen of Peace. So this isn't a new theme, but a renewed, urgent plea for us to embrace it now.
Absolutely. She's been calling us to peace through prayer, fasting, confession, Eucharist, and reading the Bible, what many call the 5 stones of Medjugorje, for decades. This message for September 2025 distills it down to its essence, prayer for peace. It's almost as if she's saying, look children, things are escalating, but the solution remains the same, sincere, heartfelt prayer.
Exactly. And let's not overlook the second part. Thank you for having responded to my call. That's such a beautiful, affirming statement. It acknowledges the faithful who have been praying, who have been striving for peace, who have opened their hearts. It's not just a command. It's an expression of gratitude from our mother.
Oh, that part just fills my heart with warmth. It's like a mother looking at her children and saying, I see your efforts, I appreciate your love. It makes me feel seen and encouraged, and it also implies that the call is ongoing. It's not a one-time event, but a continuous invitation to draw closer to God through prayer and live out the virtues of peace.
It certainly does, and it begs the question for each of us, how have we responded? Or how are we responding? Are we truly making prayer for peace a priority? Not just intellectual assent, but actual, consistent prayer from the heart. Because that's what Our Lady always asks for. Prayer with the heart, not just words.
That's the challenge, isn't it? In our busy lives, it's so easy for prayer to become rote, or to be squeezed in only when everything else is done. But Our Lady's messages often remind us to put God first, to make prayer the center. And when we pray for peace with our whole heart, we're not just asking God to change circumstances, but to change us so we can be instruments of His peace.
That's right. And think about the ripple effect. If even a small percentage of people truly take this message to heart and dedicate this time to fervent prayer for peace, the spiritual impact could be enormous. It's not just about what we see, but what's happening in the unseen, spiritual realm.
It reminds me of that beautiful quote, "Pray, hope, and don't worry." There's a power in simply entrusting things to God, especially something as vast and complex as global peace. We can't solve all the world's problems, but we can pray for them, and in doing so we align ourselves with God's will and invite His grace to work through us.
And Lorene, when we talk about prayer for peace, what does that look like practically in our day-to-day lives? Is it just saying a specific prayer, or does it involve something more?
I think it's multifaceted. Of course, specific prayers like the Rosary, the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, or even just spontaneous prayer for peace are incredibly powerful, but it also involves cultivating a peaceful disposition ourselves, being patient, forgiving, choosing love over anger, striving for unity in our own families and workplaces, essentially becoming reflections of the peace we pray for.
That makes so much sense. It's living the message, not just reciting it. And the Medjugorje messages consistently connect prayer with action, or at least with internal transformation that leads to outward change. You can't truly pray for peace and then harbor animosity in your own heart, can you?
Exactly, it would be contradictory. Our Lady's messages are always an invitation to a deeper life of faith, which naturally leads to greater charity and peace. She calls us to be instruments, her extended hands, to bring her Son's peace to the world.
And the gratitude she expresses for having responded to my call reinforces the idea that our prayers truly matter. It's not just a symbolic gesture, it's effective. It moves the heart of God, and it gives Our Lady joy to see her children responding to her guidance.
It's very encouraging, especially in times when we might feel overwhelmed or that our individual efforts are too small. To hear her say thank you confirms that every rosary, every Hail Mary, every moment we spend seeking peace through prayer is significant in God's eyes and in hers.
I think this message also offers a beautiful perspective on hope. Despite the difficulties we face, she calls us to prayer for peace. She doesn't say give up or it's hopeless. Instead, she gives us the spiritual tools to engage with the challenges and contribute to a better world, starting with prayer.
Yes, it's active hope. It's not passive resignation, but active engagement through prayer. And the idea of this time also brings a sense of opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow in our spiritual lives, to draw closer to God, and to make a tangible difference in the world, one prayer at a time.
So, for our listeners, what would be one practical way they could really embrace this message for September? What's a simple step they could take today?
I would suggest dedicating a specific part of their daily prayer, perhaps a decade of the Rosary or 5 minutes of silent contemplation, specifically to the intention of peace. Not just general peace, but naming specific areas of conflict or even individuals in their lives who need peace, making it concrete, you know?
That's an excellent idea, and maybe even extending that peace to those around us. If we pray for peace, we should also strive to be peacemakers in our interactions. A kind word, a patient ear, choosing not to engage in gossip or negativity, these are all small acts of peace.
Exactly, it's holistic. The call to prayer for peace isn't just a mental exercise, it's a call to transform our entire being into a living prayer for peace. And knowing Our Lady sees our efforts and thanks us for responding, well, that's just a tremendous source of motivation and comfort.
It truly is. So as we wrap up this reflection on the September 2025 message, let's carry that powerful invitation with us. Let this time truly be a time dedicated to prayer for peace, both in the world and in our own hearts.
And let's respond with joy and sincerity, knowing that our Mother is watching, guiding, and thanking us for every prayer. May we all strive to be her dear children who bring the light of peace to a world so desperately in need.
Beautifully said, Lorene. Thank you for sharing your insights, and thank you all for joining us on the Perpetual Help Postcast. We pray that this message inspires you to deepen your commitment to prayer for peace. Until next time, God bless.
To help us in spreading Our Lady's message, like and share. God bless everyone. Take care and keep praying.